Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually filming a video that I have wanted to film for a long time, but one of my subscribers actually requested that I film this video. So actually let me look up what her name is really quickly. Her name is Francesca. Actually requested that I make this video, so it's kind of cool because it's like one of the first actual specific request videos that someone has asked for. So Francesca, thank you. You have been a loyal subscriber and I really do appreciate it. But so today I want to talk about how to get hired as a teacher, okay? And I think it's a great time for this video to come out because if you are in college, finishing up your internship, hello, getting a job should be like the first thing on your brain at this point in time. I guess it's April now actually, so yeah. Good luck to all of you teachers that are finishing up your internships in college, or if you're doing alternate certification, good luck to you too. But so let's I'm gonna talk a little bit about my experience and background, and then we'll just dive in on how the heck we're gonna get you hired. So if you are new here, my name is Megan. I graduated from Florida State University in the spring of 2018. So almost exactly a year ago actually. My bachelor's is in social science education, meaning I went to school to be a history teacher or a museum curator. But I mean, like, hello, you see where we are. So that being said, I graduated from college, I got a job, and now I have a story to tell, and how, like, I just hope that my experience and my suggestions help you guys getting a job, because there was like a culmination of videos that I watched that helped me get a job, but I'm hoping just to put this into a nice, concise master plan for you. I feel so cute today. I don't know why. Probably because I'm at school, but no students are here today. So first things first, if you are in your internship, like in college, in your internship, treat your internship like it is a job interview the entire time. That means, like, okay, so I've done a whole video on surviving your internship, so go check that out if you are in your internship, and because that's where a lot of these things are at. But basically, do well, take it seriously, but like also make connections, right? So talk to people, talk to the principal, especially if you're trying to get a job at that school. Like if it's a good school, heck yeah, everybody in that school better know. Everybody in that school better know your name and know how good you are if you want to get a job there. Because chances are, especially if you're trying to get a job in like Tallahassee where FSU is, that's a small county. Not a lot of people get hired because there's such a great influx of teachers that, I mean, are there obviously from FSU's program. So it is very competitive in some places. So you need to prepare yourself for that. Treat your internship like a job interview. And of course, even if you're going somewhere else, you want those cooperating teachers and people around you to write you reference letters. So hello, make face, baby girl, show them what you're working with. So I'm assuming if you're stumbling upon this video, it's because you're actually in the process of looking for a job or you are interviewing, right? And so I'm gonna kind of interweave my own story throughout this with my suggestions. I just clicked on my notebook as if it was gonna do something. Good. So first things first, when looking for a job, do your research. If you already have your heart set on, I'm moving back to Panama City, Florida, and that's where I'm gonna work in Bay County, okay, good luck. But so for me, it was kind of just like open possibilities, and I loved Tampa, and I knew I wanted to move to Tampa, but of course, like, I wasn't gonna move there if there weren't job opportunities. So for example, I know that in the state of Florida, the rate at which teachers are being pushed out of like teacher programs does not equate to the level of teachers that we need, if that makes sense. So we need X amount of teachers, but we're only able to produce this amount. So I knew, especially going to a big city, that I would be able to get a job. Did I know if it would be at a school that was convenient, that I liked, was like an A school, da-da-da-da-da? No, I did not know that, but I knew I would probably be able to get a job. And hello, it's a government job. So you can literally look at the state of Florida and look at how much a starting teacher makes in each county, if that makes sense. And do that because, I mean, in Florida, I mean, granted, like, cost of living changes, but I make, like, decent money for a first-year teacher in Tampa as opposed to teaching somewhere else in the state. I'm pretty sure Orange County is Orlando. I think they make the most in the state. Either that or, like, Sarasota or something. But definitely these cities, like, down in southern Florida, I'm not going to say you can make bank, but you could make more bank than you would up in, like, the Panhandle area. It's not that big of a dip, but okay, money. I care about money. I care about money. Also consider the fact in smaller towns like Panama City, like Tallahassee, like wherever, there's probably going to be less job availability. So just consider that too. If you are in college, attend a education career fair. Okay, especially maybe if you like don't know where you want to teach at. Oh my goodness, I went to the education career fair at FSU, even though I didn't want to. My friends made me go. But I went because I wanted to talk to the people in Hillsborough County, which is the Tampa area. And oh my gosh, trying to get to the Tampa booth. Okay, so the people at the Tampa booth were just like sitting there, chilling out because it's Tampa. Hello, it's a nice place. People are moving there. Like, they don't need to pressure teachers into getting them to come work there, really. So, like, all these little, like, podunk counties, like, I think whatever county Ocala was, they stopped me and talked to me for, like, 20 minutes. Like, they were ready to hire me. And I was like, y'all don't even know me. I don't want to move to Ocala. Please let me go. If you, like, want to get a job easily and you don't care where you go to those career fairs, because I promise you there will be some counties that are ready to hire you, no matter who or what you are. So yeah, that's an option. Go to those, show face, and you get a bunch of free stuff. Like, hello, just go for them free pins, if anything else. Stock up your classroom while you can. Once you have figured out where the heck you want to teach at, the first thing, obviously, go through their application process and apply online. But go into it knowing, people keep walking past my door, now I'm afraid, because someone's gonna pop in. Go into the online application process knowing that it is gonna take forever. Honestly, just set aside a couple of hours to do the application process. Obviously, if you are applying to multiple different counties, God, good luck, because it is an absolute pain in the butt. But like the Hillsborough County one probably took a solid 2 to 3 hours. It's been almost a year now, but holy crap. Just do it, get it done. Also, it's never too soon to go ahead and apply like that. Like, it's April by the time this video is going up, and if you are watching this April, May, whatever, go ahead and put in that online application even though you are finishing up your internship, because, I mean, just go ahead and have it done. Have your name out there in the universe. Hey, I want a job, please. I would say once you have graduated, because honestly, baby, don't stress yourself out with trying to find a job while still in your internship. I had friends who did that, and they just got kind of screwed over in the end, because a lot can change between the ending of the school year and the beginning of the other. Like, I think for them, they got hired by an assistant principal at a job fair, but then the assistant principal left, and it was just an absolute mess. So that being said, my personal opinion, wait until at least after graduation, because some counties haven't even started hiring then. Hillsborough County is already hiring, FYI, but some counties don't start hiring until after the school year has ended. But once you graduate, go ahead and start, seeing those open availabilities that they have open. And if you're not hearing from the principal, or even if you have a school that you really want to teach at, go ahead and start emailing those principals. Hi, my name is so-and-so. Attached is my resume. I see you have an availability, or I know there isn't an availability, but if you do have one, please keep me in mind, blah, 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 right? So I think that I didn't get hired until, oh my gosh, when was it? The middle of June or something like that. And I had started to stress out. Because for me, I had done the things. I had put in my stuff online. I had been emailing principals and not hearing anything back. And at first I was like, holy crap, yikes. And so it all happened very suddenly because a school that I didn't even email, didn't even do anything, principal called me and asked if I wanted to set up an interview. And I said, absolutely, let's do an interview. But it was funny because like the day before that, I was like, oh my gosh, nobody's calling me. And I literally had started putting together these like folders that had all of my things in it that I was just going to take to the schools and drop off. Because like, please, God, someone give me a job. That concludes the looking for a job. Okay, well, actually, hold on, let me back up. If you get to the point where you're like, I'm not hearing back from anyone, I'm freaking out, like it's cutting it close, whatever, feel free to go ahead and put like a folder like that together with like a good lesson plan, your reference letters, your blah, 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 like all these different things. And just take it to the schools and be like, hi, is Principal so-and-so here? If they're not, just drop it off. If they are, hi, I'm so-and-so. I just graduated from FSU. I'm looking for a job. I don't know if you have any openings, but I would love, keep me, blah, blah, blah. Be professional, be normal, don't be annoying. That's my thing, is like, don't be annoying. Don't send 15 million emails to the same principal, especially if they haven't emailed you back. Because like persistence is one thing, but like, don't be annoying. You know, don't force something that's not meant to be forced. Kind of concludes the looking for a job because but so the interview, let's talk about the interview. So all of the YouTube videos that I had watched were like, oh my gosh, baby girl, don't get your hopes up for it. Like, have your first interview be a school that you don't really care about so that you can get better and get better. So that when you have your dream interview, you can nail it and be confident and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, well, the thing is, dream interview, like, maybe if that's your thing, like, I get it if you have one school, but I didn't. Like, Hillsborough County has, like, 35 high schools, and I'm just like, please hire me. So I went into this interview. Okay, so let me back up. When I got this phone call about the interview, I did not even know where the heck this school was, but I'm like, yes, interview. Thank you. Somebody wants me. One thing that I wish I could have gone back and done was been prepared way ahead of time. And what I mean by that is what I brought to my interview with me was a portfolio. So like this beautiful leather binder that I got from Office Depot or something. And it had a unit plan in it. It had my references. It had my teaching, pedagogy, philosophy, whatever. It had everything in there. So like, you know, you use that during the interview process to like reference things, and I'll talk about that in a second. But so I had that, and then I also had like another leather thing that had a notepad in it to take notes, because if you bring those two things into an interview, you look professional and you look like you actually give a crap. When I say I wish I had been more prepared, is that I got the phone call and the interview was the next day. The whole rest of that afternoon I spent putting those things together. So what I would recommend is that when either you are still in college or just get out of college, like when you have that week of kind of like free time during your internship, put together that dang thing. Just print out your 2-week lesson plan, because most colleges you have to do like a 2-week final lesson plan for. Print that out. Get all of your letters of recommendation together, your teaching pedagogy, all these things. Get it together so that you're not like me the night before your interview. That's what you're stressing out about, because you should be relaxed and chill because it's an interview, and you shouldn't be stressing the night before about getting that little stuff together. So this is basically how my interview went. Is I showed up to the school, and thank God the school was only 25 minutes away from my house, which in Hillsborough County that could be 5 miles away, you know, but relatively close, just a straight shot down I-75. And I went in there not really knowing what was going to happen, because in college they prepare you for not group interviews, but like you have a council of people, like 5 people asking you questions. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for a large group of people asking you questions. However, mine was just my principal and vice principal in my principal's office. And it was very calm. It was very chill. I felt very comfortable. And just from beginning to end, good vibes on this first interview. And my principal was just so friendly and made me so not stressed out. And these are the questions that she asked me that I had actually already prepared for. And so here's another tip for you is watch my video, but go and watch other videos of specifically questions to prepare for a teacher interview. Because these are the videos that really helped me out, because I didn't know what the heck to expect. Think about these questions, write out your answers to these questions, and rehearse them. My whole way to school, I rehearsed these questions so that I would not be like, whenever it came to answering them. The big one is that probably across the board, you're going to hear every video, and then in your interviews, you will hear this question, is, tell us about yourself. And I watched one video, and gosh, I wish I could remember what it was. But the girl was like, that's not a time for you to talk about your backpacking trip across Alaska. That's the time for you to tell them what kind of teacher you are. And so when they ask you, tell us about yourself, I feel like I was like, well, I'm from Panama City. I was born and raised there. My mom was a first grade teacher. I've grown up around teachers my whole life, which kind of inspired me to go into the education profession. I also love history. That's what I was really good at in college. That was my driving force, blah, 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 blah. Talk about FSU, talk about your internship. Just keep throwing in how awesome you are and why they should hire you. That is your time to brag on yourself. If you were Sigma cum laude or whatever the heck, talk about it. If you were intern of the year, talk about it. If you did X, Y, and Z, talk about it. That is your time to brag on yourself. The other question that I remember them specifically asking me was, what does an average day in your classroom look like? And be honest. Be honest. Again, another good one to rehearse, because you do want to throw in those fancy words like, oh, well, I always prepare my lessons using Bloom's taxonomy because, I want to hit those higher critical thinking levels. I do half lecture, then half peer interaction and questions, and I implement a lot of political cartoons which foster blah, blah, blah. So, already know what the heck you're going to say. And also, when they ask you that question, what does an average day in your classroom look like, you can pull out your portfolio and be like, oh, okay, so here's a 2-week unit that I did, and go back through and make sure you remember doing that 2-week unit. You can go back and say, okay, so look, on this day we did this activity. On this day we did that activity. Therefore, I like to switch it up a lot. I like to keep my kids on my toes. I like to do, X, Y, and Z. Because they like to see that you actually do things. It's good not to just lecture. I lecture a lot, don't get me wrong, but they like to see more than just that you can stand up and talk, because that's not always exactly what teaching is. The 2 big questions that I would prepare for that I think are the most important. There are a lot of videos on YouTube that will tell you what questions to prepare for. There's some with 40 questions. Oh my god. But yeah, that's not how my interview went. I just remember those 2 big questions. Something that will happen in an interview is they'll be like, so do you have any questions for us? And this was another video that I watched where I was like, oh my gosh, these are 2 great questions. So on my little notepad, I had written down these questions because I knew I was going to get stressed out and forget what they were. So the 2 questions that I asked them were, what programs and support do you have for new teachers? And they'll be like, oh my gosh, we have this and this and blah, 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 blah. And that's their moment to brag on themselves. And then one question that I just remember when I asked it, my principal was like, oh, she was so pleased with this question. And I was like, But the question that I asked them are, what are you most proud of this school? And they're like, oh my gosh, because if they actually love their job, they like answering this question. And I remember my principal said that she loved the culture of our school, that like just the kids are nice to each other. Like it's just like I can't even like put into words A, the accuracy of that, and B, just like I don't know, it was just so good. But ask them questions. Be prepared with questions, because it will definitely set you apart and make you look like you actually give a crap. A lot of the teacher videos that I watched, I said this already, but a lot of them were like, don't get your hopes up, don't get your hopes up, like blah blah blah, the first interview is always going to be rough, like da 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 da. But I left that interview in my head. I literally got in my car and I said, I'm going to be really sad if they don't hire me, because just the vibe felt right. Like I just knew, like a gut feeling for sure, but I was like, there's something about this. And at that point in time, I never knew what this school and this job and my coworkers would mean to me. It was just a gut feeling, and I was like, man, I really hope I get this job. And I went home, and 20 minutes later, my principal called me, and she said, we would love to offer you this position. You just have to say yes. And of course, immediately I said yes. I didn't care about going to other schools. I didn't care about anything else. I just had this gut feeling that I knew I needed to be here. It's just crazy. It's crazy that now it's April and I'm gonna be here for another year, and I'm so like, oh, rarely do I ever feel like I have like good luck or anything like that, but holy crap, am I thankful for this job. Am I thankful for my school and my principal and everything else. So I just have a few extra little tidbits to throw in there. Be yourself always. Like in that interview, don't go in there like a crazy happy psycho person, like I'm a teacher, I want a job, if that's not how you really are, because that's fake. Okay, go in there and just be yourself. If they ask you the question like, how do you teach, what's an average day in your classroom? Well, a lot of lecture, da 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 da. Like, be honest, because I don't know, yeah, I understand trying to get a job, but also you want a school that fits with you. So if they expect you to do nothing but group work and that's not you, maybe ball out, baby. That's not good. Always be you, always be yourself, because you want them to hire them. You want them to hire you for you and for your skills. Prepare for multiple interviews, right? I never in a million years would have thought I would have gotten hired after one interview, but prepare for multiple. I do think that's good advice, especially if you're in a county with a lot higher competition, because don't get me wrong, competition for social studies is pretty intense. Like I got really lucky, right? Because I got this job not knowing a single person. I don't know how it happened, but prepare for multiple interviews, and like that's fine. Especially, you never know, the first couple interviews might just not fit you, like you don't want to force anything. That's my third point, is you don't want to force anything. Like, if you're not meant to be there, you're not meant to be there for one reason or another. There's like something better coming around the corner, I promise you. There are too many schools in this gosh darn country to be at a school that you hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't force it. This is a good one to end on, but when you go in there for that interview and you go to the secretary, you be super sweet to that secretary, because the secretaries and the ladies or gentlemen up in the front office, they are everything. So I remember I went in and I was like, hi, I'm so-and-so, like, what's your name? Like I made a point to remember her name, because, like the principal secretary, heck yeah, like they have the power of the entire school. So definitely just be super sweet, super respectful, and it'll work out in your favor. So that is basically a culmination of all of my tips for hopefully getting you a dang job. There's someone outside my window. If you have any questions at all about anything, please feel free to comment them down below. Again, thank you to Francesca for requesting this video and getting my butt in gear to get it done. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Good luck out there on that job hunt, and I will see you in my next video.